Hi, welcome to Judging 101. My name is Kevin Manley, and I'm here to talk to you today about preparing and evaluating a show choir instrumental combo. First, a little bit about myself. This is my 30th year with Findlay City Schools in Findlay, Ohio. For the first 13 years of my career, I taught middle school choir, loved my time with my middle school students, many fond memories there. And for the last 17 years, I've been at Findlay High School, where I direct our concert choirs, and I also direct our show choir first edition. First of all, I'd like to thank Damon for involving me in this video series. I'm honored to be here with you today. I hope my comments can help you in some way as you prepare for this season and future seasons. The first thing that I would like to say about preparing the ensemble, to me, it's like everything else in education, it's all about building relationships. There's several groups of people that you need to build relationships with to have a successful ensemble. And I feel the first one of those is your high school band director. If your high school band director is already involved with your show choir, then you're that much farther ahead, so good for you. But I find that many of the combo directors in show choir are not the band director at the high school. So it's really important to build a relationship with your band director. That's the person you're going to have to work with to help recruit students into the program. You're going to have to work with that person on scheduling. Many high school band programs around the country are very busy in the wintertime with indoor drumline, jazz ensembles, solo and ensemble contests, or all of the above. And it's important to work with your band director and make sure that they know that you're there to help them build their program, and they're in turn going to help you build your program. It has to be a working relationship between the two of you. So I can't stress that enough, that you have to have a strong relationship with the band director and let them know what you're all about. Let them know that you're trying to help their program as much as they can help yours, and that it can really be a collaborative effort. And that's really the first step to getting students. So that's an important relationship for sure. The next relationship is to find a good arranger, someone that really knows how to arrange for show choir. There's some fantastic arrangers out there that really know what they're doing, but oftentimes I hear arrangements where the band parts are just too intricate, too difficult maybe for the players that you have. The horns play all the time. They play in the wrong moments in the show. And the whole key to the arrangements is that they add to the show when they're supposed to add to the show. And they don't have to be really overly difficult. There's a lot of arrangers that write great horn charts that are really accessible by all of your players, and they sound fantastic. So there's many arrangers to choose from. I'm sure you can ask those of us that are in the show choir circuit all the time for a list of arrangers. But having an arranger and having a relationship with someone who arranges for you in a collaborative way is also very important. The next thing would be to have an assistant director. I think having an assistant director that can really take over the instrumental ensemble relieves a lot of stress off of the head director. The instrumental director then can really help build camaraderie amongst the instrumentalists. They can be in charge of them when you travel to competitions. And it really is a huge stress reliever on the head director of the group. So if you can get an assistant director and work and build a relationship with that person, I feel that that goes a long way in helping as well. The last group that is probably the most important group to build a relationship with is the students. Just like everything in education these days, it's all about building a relationship with the students, helping them feel like a crucial piece of the puzzle when it comes to the whole show choir program. I just feel that that's vital. One of the ways that you can do that is, if you don't already have a name for your show choir combo, give them a name. Take that name, put it on t-shirts, have the students help you create a logo. And then the instrumental combo starts to develop their own identity. They really feel connected to the group when this kind of thing happens. I've talked to directors across the country that, they struggle to get students in the instrumental combo because they don't feel a part of things. They're always backstage playing. Sometimes they get very little recognition. So giving them a name, giving them an identity, really goes a long way in helping the kids feel a part of things. And then when you have home shows, have the combo play songs on their own. They could play 1 or 2 or 3 songs on a home show. I know we all like that competition show to run smoothly, and obviously it needs to when we're in competition. But when we're doing a home show, that's the time to really feature the instrumental combo. They, I think, feel like much more a part of things. And again, I keep saying it over and over, but they have more of an identity. And then once those relationships are really built, that's where the real teaching can take place. I find with students, once they're comfortable with the teacher, and they understand what the teacher is trying to do, then the real learning can take place. And obviously work on all the things that you should be working on: intonation, tone quality, articulation. All of those things could then happen in rehearsal. If you're a vocalist like me and you're in charge of also directing the instrumental combo, I would look for people to come in and run a clinic with your group. That could be a band director from a nearby school. Maybe there's an adult in the community who plays quite a bit or has played quite a bit that would be willing to come in and work with the students, or invite clinicians from around your state to come in and spend an evening with your combo. Again, that makes them feel more a part of things. Then you can draw on the expertise of other individuals to help your students play better. But that would really help as well. And so it's about those relationships, all about relationships with your band director at your school, an arranger, an assistant director, and most importantly, finding ways to build relationships with the students. When I evaluate an instrumental combo as I'm judging show choir competitions, the first thing that I realize that becomes somewhat of an issue and really separates the top groups from the rest is a whole sense of balance. And a lot of times the balance can be figured out during setup. So many groups come on stage, the band is totally silent during setup. And my suggestion always is to get all of the electronics plugged in, turn them on, make sure everything is working, and play a little bit. Go ahead and test some levels out. Maybe some knobs got bumped in transition during setup. The volume knobs might not be the same as they were at the last rehearsal. The EQ knobs might not be the same. And that's the time where, plug it in, get it turned on, and start playing and check the level. That level that you had in your rehearsal a couple of days before the competition may not be the right level in this venue. So I feel it's important to test out all of the electronics and just make sure that that's where you want it to be. And the same thing with the horns. They were just playing in warm-up. A lot of times, unfortunately, there's a lot of time between warm-ups and the performance. And the horns have gotten cold, so they need to come on stage, get some warm air going through those horns again, tune again, take some time to tune with the keyboard instrument that you're going to use in the performance, not just to a tuner, but have that keyboard play some notes and help you tune, and just, again, get some warm air going through those instruments and get them going. So many groups don't do that. Don't take advantage of that time. Make sure you know the competition rules. Some competitions may not allow for that to happen, but I think most competitions do. So use that setup time to get on stage, get those instruments going, and make sure everything is where you want it to be. The other thing that you can do, most competitions now allow you to have communication with the audience. So if it's a director of the group, if it's a parent that you can trust, I would have some way to communicate from the audience to the stage to help with those balance concerns. With first edition, I'm on headset with my combo director. I talk to her constantly throughout the show about volume levels and balance and tempos and all kinds of things like that. I think that's crucial in that moment. But to me, the job of the combo is, yes, to do all the obvious things, play in tune, play with good articulation, play with a good tone quality. But the job of a combo is to really contribute to the overall impact of the show. When it's time to be soft and let the vocals be heard, that's what you have to do. And then when it's time to add energy to the show, then the band really turns and plays out to the audience, gives us a lot of energy. One of the techniques that we will use sometimes is we'll have the horns play to the side of the stage while the singers are singing, and then turn front on dance breaks, which means that they have to memorize dance breaks pretty much, and then turn back when the dance break is over. The other thing that can really help with that is to have volume pedals for your bass player and your guitar player and any keyboard instruments that you may have. Having that volume pedal where, you know, the pedal is up, it's at a soft volume, and then when it's time for the dance break, it's pedal down, full volume out. That really helps to add energy. And then when the dance break is over, really pull it back again. Volume pedals are huge. Some groups actually use a Bluetooth, a wireless mixer. They have all their electronics plugged into the same mixer. They set up a wireless network, and someone is out in the audience with an iPad controlling all of the electronics. I know that works really well too. Any of those forms of communication that you have backstage, always have a plan B, because you never know what might happen with electronics. But for me, it really comes down to balance and how does that group really contribute to the overall impact of the show. Bringing the band on stage can be another way to add an impactful moment in the show. For me, when the band comes on stage, it needs a reason to come out there, not just to have the band on stage to try to, you know, play to the score sheet, if you will. I think that band needs a moment, a reason to be there. And then have your choreographer give them some simple choreography when they're on stage. That goes back to what I talked about earlier. That helps to give them a sense of involvement, a sense of identity, and that they really added to the show. I think that's fantastic as well. For those of you that may not have the luxury of having an instrumental combo and you just have piano, bass, and drums, that can be a great thing. I would invest in a good keyboard instrument that has great sound patches. Many times when I see a group that just has piano, bass, and drums, they use the piano that's provided by the competition, which may or may not be the best quality piano. And the piano is usually not mic'd by the sound person at a competition. So having a keyboard instrument with great sounds, with great amplifiers to really help it sound well, will give you a little more volume. It will give you options in sounds. Maybe there's a song that you want a jazz organ sound, not just piano the whole show, or you can have a classical organ, a guitar, a combination of strings and piano. Anything that you could do that could upgrade from just playing a piano. And then you've got to really make sure that your drummer and your bass player, and if you have a guitar player, you know, you've got to really make sure that that group is on it and they're tight and they know that they are vital to the whole impact of the show. So those are some thoughts that I have. I hope that that helps you in some way. Again, thanks to Damon for including me in this awesome video series that he's putting together for all of us. I'm honored to be included with many of the people that have already made videos. So thank you, Damon. I wish you all the best of luck as you go forward in this show choir season. Stay safe and stay healthy. Best of luck to you and your students.